get back, huh?
Oh shit.
I think that was
More effort than a pit of
bullet.
spikes. Credit where it's
Never
due.
faced one. Not yet, anyway.
Done!
Careful. If we can hear it, perhaps it can hear us.
Okay.
Done!
Okay. Hi guys.
You are swallowed by a chorus of turbulent music. Through one creature sings many voices, the harmony of an entire collective.
Sovereign, she has come. She is here.
The choir fades. A single melody rises above the others, brassy and commanding.
I am sovereign.
You see a vision, your lifeless body wrapped in fungal tendrils. The Sovereign is threatening you.
State your purpose.
You detect a distinct quiver in every note. These creatures have experienced recent tragedy. Fungal roots weave through your mind, seeking your true intent. Then the Sovereign drones a new melody, cautious but welcoming.
Descend to me. Let us speak in flesh.
The persistent music coaxes you forward. The Sovereign expects you.
What is the creature doing to those corpses?
The Sovereign's thick fingers stroke the corpse at its feet. A droning melody greets you as the creature turns its gaze to you.
Flesh Stalker. I show you a memory. Watch and listen.
A violent vision grips you. Dwegar, dark dwarves, chopping myconid remains.
They broke our peace. They killed our young.
The Sovereign's song slows to the pace of a dirge. It is still in mourning.
We laid waste to many, but intruders remain. Lakewood.
The Sovereign's song halts as it measures your worth.
I sense your resolve. You will find Dwegar invaders near Lake's Edge. Cleanse the rot. Destroy them.
Okay.
I suppose such wicked killers deserve wicked ends.
An illusion comes over you. A Dwegar choking on a cloud of gleaming dust.
I can spare you no warrior. Too many were lost.
That's okay.
But accept this gift. It will help you exterminate.
Ooh, what you get me? What you get me?
The Sovereign gifts you one more vision. A wall of vines parting to reveal glow.
Riches of magic and mind. Cleanse the rot, and they are yours. You do the circle a service. We will await word.
It replies with an echoing screech and returns its gaze to the corpse. Unusual spores waft from the decaying flesh.
A drow. Play nice, or these shrooms will be on you in a flash. Now, doubt you'd care to notice, but you didn't see a dwarf on your travels, did you? Balin's his name. Bald, blue tunic, dumb as a stick.
No, I haven't seen it.
Right, never mind.
Show me what I got.
Flesh walker, tongue talker, you hail from the dark, yet far you've come. Reach into memory, tell me of home.
It shivers in response to the deathly tomb and reveals its own home, a humid cove filled with decaying myconid corpses.
Dwegar destroyed my people. I am a sovereign with no circle. This circle does not welcome me. But I have heard the song. You mean to cleanse the Dwegar rot. I mean to join you.
Really?
In death, your foe becomes your ally. I will raise it. You may command it. I am the danger, and I am the cure. They erased my people. I will erase theirs.
Okay.
Remain in the Underdark, and I will follow. We cleanse the rot together.
Sure, big guy.
Damn thing. It has to open, surely. It has to do something.
Shadowheart's attention is consumed by a strange box that she turns over in her hands. The box is inscribed with unfamiliar glyphs.
Yeah, I can open it for you.
In an instant, Shadowheart hides the box from view.
Keep out of it.
Oh, come on, bestie.
I'm being interrupted, that's what. We can talk later.
Oh.
May the darkness protect you. There's no story. None that you're entitled to hear, anyway. Just forget you ever saw it. Wouldn't you be in my place? If there's even the slightest chance that Shah worshippers remain within our reach, we should try and find them. Even if they're all long gone, and that seems quite likely from what we know, who knows what they may have left behind for us to use? My people are nothing if not resourceful. I don't have to explain myself to you.
Yeah, I got no problems. Oh, shit. Yeah, there we go.
Very well. Perhaps there's potential in you. Let's see how you handle this. I am indeed a disciple of Shah, Mistress of the Night and Lady of Loss. I assume you've heard of her? Curious. Most are afraid of my lady. Perhaps you'll turn out to be a worthy companion after all. I don't know. Something to do with the tadpole, who's to say? Another mystery to add to the pile. No. Whatever it is certainly not that. Very. It wanted to lash out at you. Luckily, I was there to stop it and save your life. Anything else? You already know my biggest secrets. What more can you ask? She took me in when no one else would. Without her, I wouldn't be alive. She's my mother. She nurtures me, cares for me, loves me. Don't believe the lies the Selûnites tell.
Ah! Good evening to you. I take it you're here to pick me up on that bedtime story you were promised.
Sure.
Marvelous. It's a story full of answers long overdue. It is the story of a man who fell in love with a goddess. I know, but a bit of narrative distance will make it so much easier in the telling. Indulge me.
Fine.
Thank you. Once upon a time, not quite that long ago, there lived a wizard in a tower. The wizard was what one might call a prodigy, who from an early age could not only control the weave, but compose it, like a musician or a poet. Such was his skill that it earned him the attention of the mother of magic herself, the Lady of Mysteries, Mystra. Love. Perhaps it was not quite love, but you see, the wizard was but a very young man. It was most certainly love to him. Mistress showed him the secrets beneath the veils. The gossamer veils first, draped across the weave. The delicate veils next, draped across her body. Chosen one, she whispered. She slipped them off completely. Alas, it was Mistra's interest that didn't last. One day, all too soon, the whispers stopped. The goddess spurned the mortal. The veils were drawn once more, and the wizard was left behind, heartbroken. Like so many of the heartbroken, he did something infinitely foolish. One has to think big if one seeks to win back a goddess. So the wizard thought big. Here goes. Once upon a time, very long ago, a mighty lord lived in a tower. A flying tower, to be precise. I'll save his story for another time, but the gist of it is that he sought to usurp the goddess of magic so that he could become a god himself. He almost managed, but not quite. His entire empire, Netheril, came crashing down around him as he turned to stone. The magic unleashed that day was phenomenal, rolling like the prime chaos that outdates creation. A fragment of it was caught and sealed away in a book. No ordinary book, mind you. A tome of gateways that contained within it a bubble of astral plane. It was a fragment of primal weave locked out of time, locked away from Mystra herself. What if, the silly wizard thought, what if after all this time, I could return this lost part of herself to the goddess? So it goes with Wizards of Waterdeep. It is a city filled with the most obscure arcana. He obtained the book and took it into his study. As for what happened next, here. Place your hand over my heart. Let me show you.
You feel the tadpole quiver as you realize Gale is letting you in. Into the dark. You see through Gale's eyes, staring down the corridors of a dread memory. A book, bound, then suddenly opened. Inside there are no pages, only a swirling mass of blackest weave that pounces. Its teeth, its claws. It's unstoppable as it digs through you and becomes part of you. And gods, is it ever hungry.
Of all things, magic. This Netherese taint, this orb, for lack of a better word, is balled up inside my chest. And it needs to be fed. As long as it absorbs weave, it remains stable, to an extent. The moment it becomes unstable, however.
You die?
Rather worse, actually. It will erupt. I don't know the
the
exact
kaboom?
magnitude of the eruption, but given my studies of Netherese magic, I'd say even a fragment as small as the one I carry, it'd level a city the size of Waterdeep.
Okay, kaboom then.
It is my truth, finally revealed. It is this folly that led Mystra to abandon me completely. I can only hope that you won't abandon me as well. After all we've been through, surely we can brave even this side by side.
Yeah, sure, we're okay.
That is a great relief. Oh, a great relief indeed. It is an honor to call you a friend. Many challenges lie ahead, but in this moment I believe nothing to be insurmountable. What do you say? Should we call it a night, or do you have questions for me? I'll be honest with you. I don't know. She's my muse still, the embodiment of magic. But the embodiment of love? Only if we ever meet again will I know. The orb was kept safe and inert in a pocket of astral plane, suspended in time. If I can somehow manage to expel it from my body while in the astral plane, it will be rendered inert again. Alternatively, I could learn to control its chaotic magic. That is, to succeed where I failed before. Without Mystra's favor, I don't see how that may come to pass. Of course, there could be different answers as well. Faerun brims with more magic than any one wizard could fathom, let alone comprehend. Who knows what outlandish solutions may yet present themselves. Good night, then. And thank you.
All that time, I reckoned Halcyon held our cure. Seems the frontier's grown a few thorns. The good news is we haven't gone full squiddy. Where a cure's concerned, I like our chances.
I suppose you want to hear about Cazador. My old master. Before the Mind Flayers took me from him. Before this strange, twisted freedom. Cazador Zar is a vampire lord in Baldur's Gate. The patriarch of his coven, and a monster obsessed with power. Not political power or military power, I mean power over people. The power to control them completely. He turned me nearly 200 years ago. I became his spawn, and he became my tormentor. He had me go out into Baldur's Gate to fetch him the most beautiful souls I could find. It was a fun little ritual of his. I'd bring them back, and he'd ask if I wanted to dine with him. And if I said yes, he'd serve me a dead, putrid rat. Of course, if I said no, he'd have me flayed. Hard to say which was worse. I will, but I won't take it for granted. The Mind Flayers aren't the only monsters out there. They're not even the only ones hunting us. All I'm asking is that you keep your eyes open and watch out for anything lurking in the shadows.
Yeah.
What more could I ask? Now, is that all?
What's on your mind? That is most gratifying to hear. May I? Thank you. Gods. It's like a draught of cool water soothing a parched throat. Welcome and wonderful. There was a lot of magic in this artifact. I can't quite remember a time I felt so peaceful inside. It's good to perceive this constant fear repressed into a quiet scare. Let's hope it'll last a good long while. And I'm impressed once more by your benevolence. I say that with great sincerity. Mere days have passed since our first acquaintance, but you've gained the respect of years. As such, I do not wish to give you false hope. We're only treating the symptoms, not the cause.
What is that?
That said, this newfound calm I'm experiencing gives me reason to accept without prejudice a certain degree of optimism. Time is a precious gift. With time, we may even reach Baldur's Gate, a city rife with magic, wizards, scholars, and perhaps solutions.
Okay.
And here's to your company. Oh, I can picture it now. Academies, libraries, laboratories, the assembled knowledge of centuries that may just set us free. Better yet, soft beds, home-cooked meals, and all the other little luxuries this wilderness so brashly denies us. Plenty to look forward to.
That might be worth a look.
Oh, shit.
The Zentarim. Mercenaries and cutthroats. Useful friends, if you can afford them.
Stealing all their stuff.
Ripple bark could sustain an entire village if seeded properly.
Ooh, who are you? Uh-oh. Hi.
Ah, a visitor. You're a welcome sight. But let us observe the customs of the locals.
The scholar's brow tenses. His voice spills into your skull, the spores connecting mind to mind.
Blurg, proud member of the Society of Brilliance, at your service. Or perhaps not. Your mind is far more complex than the fungi. Understandable. We are small in number and rarely stay in one place for long. My colleagues and I are working to improve conditions in the Underdark. This need not be such a dire, hostile place. Our kind has suffered needlessly for generations. Do you also seek peace among the Myconids?
Yes.
Truly remarkable. But why come to the Underdark, where they hold so much power? You were infected by an illithid tadpole? It's a miracle you're still intact. You must be worried sick, but have no fear. I have a friend who may be able to assist.
Ooh, really?
Omelium!
I hope this is important, Blur. My Zerkwood samples need constant attention.
It is. This adventurer has an illithid tadpole inside her head, but she hasn't turned.
No cerebral fusion.
Oh, shit.
Possible. But intriguing. Are you looking to have it extracted?
Oh, yeah, can you do it?
Open your mind to me. Let us see what lurks within.
As Ormelum's mind pierces yours, the tadpole pulses with power. It feels 10 times its size.
Oh, shit.
Alive, awake, almost smug.
This is most unusual. The incubation period should be complete, as should your transformation. But the larva is infused with strange magic. It appears to be in some form of stasis. No, it appears to be shielded from physical and magical influence. And even without the shield, the extraction would involve severe cranial trauma.
Well, shit. Yeah, that doesn't sound ideal.
It is not ideal. The process would surely kill you.
Let's go.
The Nautiloid. Fascinating. I have never set foot on one myself. They were our warships during the greatest eras of the Illithid Empire. We ruled the entire astral plane from their decks. The design was lost when the Gith rebelled and ended our dominion. Of course, I am sorry I cannot assist you in its removal. But I have an idea.
Oh, perhaps I should start taking notes.
There may be a way to bypass that stasis. There are many alchemical substances that can influence the mind.
Isn't the stasis what keeping the tadpole from doing what it usually does?
A tincture distilled from a collection of rare mushrooms. They have subtle psionic influence. I would require a fresh tongue of madness and Timask spores. But be warned, in their natural state, both of these mushrooms can be quite dangerous. Timasks cause confusion in those that approach them. The tongue is self-explanatory.
The Underdark, of course, although they are quite rare, and their discovery perilous. I imagine Lenore would have them in her possession. She served Mistra as a cleric.
Okay. Where is she?
The southwest when I last saw her, although her tower does have a tendency to move. She is quite fond of her garden. Lenore has always been a lonely sort. Nature was her only companion. I offered her the chance to join the society, but she refused. Her experiments on Susa bark took priority.
Okay.
May your travels be safe and swift.